for the Raiders in the AFC West, led by Denver at 9-2. The Raiders are tied with Kansas City into tonight, and they have once again resurrected 38-year-old quarterback Jim Plunkett, who took over at Dallas 2 games ago. He brought the Raiders back from behind to win there. He beat Cleveland this past Sunday with a 3-touchdown day. Jim Plunkett is back at age 38. The Chargers have brought a new head coach to take over the Chargers reins, Al Saunders. He took over 4 weeks ago from a legend here in San Diego, Don Coryell. He's 1-2 with the Chargers being one of 2 teams to defeat Denver this season. There he is, just a little older than quarterback Jim Plunkett, compounding the problems for Al Saunders. Quarterback Dan. Second down and 9. Complete with Branch and what a move. Goodbye. Catch him. Goodbye. There are no flags down. Second down and 20. Ball inside the 49-yard line. Full blitz by Cincinnati. And good read. Look out. He's gone. Brooks. Great blocking on the left side, and it's Wilkinson and Mason. Allen, he's got a good arm. He used to be a high school quarterback. Todd Christensen, touchdown Raiders.
Our special Thursday edition from San Diego, where the Raiders very much hopeful of a playoff berth, even an outside shot at a division title. Right now 2 games back of Denver against the Chargers, with no chance at all, of course, of going into postseason play, but hopeful of a new start under Al Saunders, a head start for next year. And Ralph Mosienko, who suffered a concussion himself on Sunday, to kick off to Los Angeles and fielded at the 3 by Stephon Adams. Nice move at the 15. And then Adams goes out of bounds at the 28-yard line. And so Jim Plunkett, having taken over for Mark Wilson, and Tom Flores saying at least right now that Plunkett is his man for the balance of the year. He has thrown 4 touchdown passes to Dokie Williams alone over the last 2 weeks. Allen has been bothered almost all season with a bad ankle. And you know we'll see a lot of Napoleon McCallum. And those are the guys up front. Dokie Williams goes wide left, and Rod Barksdale is in the slot on first down. LA from the 28-yard line. And Marcus Allen, who prepped in San Diego, takes it out to the 34-yard line, where Vincey Glenn, who suffered a broken jaw Sunday, runs him out of bounds. Second down and 4. Take a look at the San Diego defense, and it's gotten a lot better, and it's a defense that held Denver to a field goal. Williams, Ian, and O'Neal, the 3-man front. Billy Ray Smith has been hobbled, but he's in there tonight, and he's a good one, as you know. And there is the secondary. You all know about the Chargers last Sunday. They were initially credited with 12 sacks against Dallas. We'll fill you in later as to the details, but they've taken 1 away. It's officially 11. Second and 4. Plunkett steps up and throws, and the pass is incomplete at the 45. Intended for Christensen, who pleads his case but won't win it.
For a touch to not. Working against Billy Ray Smith. Third down and 4.
At the 34-yard line, opening drive of the game, and Strahan, 39, has replaced Hawkins for the moment. Out of the 2-back set, and a flag is down. Christensen makes the catch, and a lot of yardage as he gets to the San Diego 41, and a marker down back at the 33-yard line after a 26-yard pickup. And Gordon McCarter is our referee tonight.
San Diego showing what they call an exotic blitz. They were all over the place. Here's the call by McCarter.
Number 99 defense, penalty decline, first down.
Lee Williams was trying to get a jump on the snap count. He was the Charger that was offside. There could have been 2 of them offside as they brought everyone, and they've been doing more and more blitzing this year. Consequently, into tonight, they are leading the National Football League with 44 sacks, one having been taken away, as Al mentioned a moment ago.
First and 10. Raiders at the San Diego 40. Marcus Allen. Stopped after a gain of only a couple. For Allen, certainly not a vintage year. Billy Ray Smith making the tackle. Allen injuring his ankle early on, missing a couple of games and then coming back and really not at full speed. He's also had problems with his feet, developing blisters. And so for Marcus, as you can see, 509 yards, a paltry sum for somebody like a Marcus Allen on week 12.
Indeed, last year is total yards from scrimmage, a new NFL record over 2,300 yards. He actually is probably better than he's been all season since the ankle injury. He averaged over 4 yards a carry last week. He's getting it back.
Hawkins is back in the game, and Allen is stopped for no gain at the 38-yard line. Thomas Benson, 57, the third-year man out of Oklahoma, making the stop, and it will be 3rd and 8.
The Chargers, it's their defense that's been turned around by Ron Lynn, their new defensive coordinator.
On 3rd and 8, Plunkett has to dump it off and incomplete.
Interesting and dangerous.
And also 4th down.
Again, the pressure on Plunkett coming from the left side. Billy Ray Smith, who has been one of the principals, he didn't get to him, but Plunkett tried to get away from the pocket. He tried to shuffle the ball out in the general direction of Marcus Allen, and therefore they did not rule it as having been thrown away, which it might well have been.
After a fumble, Ray Guy to kick, and Gary Anderson, who does everything, runs the ball, catches the ball, and runs back kick, stands at the 10-yard line. Guy angling it for the near side, trying to find the corner, and let's see where they line it up, and they line it up in the end zone for a touchback. So 12:38.
Ever done. They did that, of course, following the 1980 season. They think they can do it again.
They began to turn their season around in week 4, the first game against San Diego this year in Los Angeles. So with Flick at quarterback, he goes right to the air from the 20-yard line and goes deep a la the old Chargers, intended for Wes Chandler. With Saunders coming in, they've gotten more conservative offensively. As you look at the principals, Flick at quarterback, and the men he'll be working with, Anderson, and Spencer is working on a very ginger ankle, the fullback. Joyner, the venerable one, with Chandler, and Winslow, the tight end, and the offensive line. And Kowalski will have to work on Townsend, who's replacing Howie Long. Meanwhile, with Spencer out, Curtis Adams is in at fullback. He is the sole running back in this set. 2nd and 10, draw. Adams out to the 28-yard line. Adams scored San Diego's first touchdown last year, so Minifield and Dixon might have some argument with that. 3rd and 2. Flick, pressured, sacked. 17-yard line. Jeff Barnes was in there, number 56.
They really didn't miss Howie Long, and that's hard to say, a week ago. And they got the 6 sacks against Cleveland. And when you have an all-pro like Howie Long, you don't miss. Well, you saw why a moment ago. They can really put the pressure on. Now they get the block.
And a block kick and into the end zone for the touchdown.
And
Jerry Robinson.
Mojenko is shaken up.
Mojenko had a kick blocked Sunday against Dallas, and then Wes Chandler had to come in, and he kicked for the balance of the game, kicking twice. Mojenko also suffered a concussion, so there was some question as to whether he could play tonight or not. And then we have an instant replay.
An overload on the right side, and Jerry Robinson, who is one of the quicker linebackers you'll find in the game of football, was right there. And they continue to look at Mojenko. And you always wonder about a player coming back early. Let's look again. Lester Hayes trying to lure everyone out to the side, and it was actually Lester Hayes who got in there. And it was Robinson who took everything to the inside. And the touchdown scored by Robinson. And Mojenko got stepped on after he was upended by Lester Hayes. Hayes drilling right through him, getting the ball, the whiplash, and then the scramble now for the football, and they walk all over for Mojenko. It was Lyndon King, a former San Diego Charger, who stepped on him.
So Chris Barr to attempt the extra point, and Mark Wilson, the erstwhile starting quarterback, maintains his position as the #1 holder, and the kick is good. So we played 3 minutes 19 seconds. Robinson with the TD, and the Raiders lead the Chargers 7. Raiders a 7-0 advantage early on as Barr kicks off for Los Angeles. And confusion on the return as Adams lets it bounce between he and Anderson. So the Chargers having a lot of trouble already on special teams tonight. The block punt, and now the two of them looking at each other. Hey, you take it. Tim Spencer is in the game now. He was questionable. Number 43. He and Anderson are the running backs, and it's Anderson. And Anderson gets out to close to the 30-yard line where Stacy Turan makes the tackle, and Spencer leads the way. And that's a very encouraging sign because Anderson has not been running well the last couple of weeks.
And he's been troubled by fumbles, but if you followed his career, you know he is one of the most exciting players to ever come out of the University of Arkansas. Came in tonight. They have really used him a great deal. They have lost Lionel James. He's been on the injured reserve with a damaged foot. Buford McGee is out for the season with a couple of knee injuries, and they have really used Gary Anderson in every aspect of the game.
Chandler in motion on 2nd and inches, and Spencer takes the ball across the 30 for San Diego's initial first down.
Anderson has been running back punts, running back kickoffs, 1,370 all-purpose yards. He might be just wearing down a little bit. He's just a little over 6 feet, and he's 180 pounds. Spencer, another USFL player, also drafted by the Chargers, as was Gary Anderson. But both of them opted to go to the USFL, and now they're back with the Chargers.
1st and 10, San Diego from the 32. Great catch by Gary after the pressure by Robinson forced Flick to throw in a hurry.
Very cool by Flick. He knew he was going to get hit. Robinson was not even picked up, and he was right in Flick's face when he was able to unload. And Gary Anderson, again, he's kind of an all-purpose football player, and he does everything in an excellent way. And you saw the blow to Flick by Robinson. And Anderson kept the concentration, got down the sidelines. And they're out there trying to cover him with a linebacker, and that'll never get it done. It was Reggie McKenzie trying to stay with Anderson.
On 1st down, straight ahead from the 42-yard line. Spencer for a gain of 2, maybe 3. That pass, by the way, it's incredible. San Diego.
And that one was only 40 yards.
Yeah, you would think they would lead. On 2nd and 7. For Anderson, and 2 deep, and intercepted at the 5 by Van McElroy, and McElroy brings it back out to the 20-yard line, and the Raiders take over again.
No way you throw that ball. You've got to look at the free safety, and Van McElroy, one of the best, granted, but he was floating back there, and Flick just had to take a look and see that it was going to be double coverage. It was inside out, most certainly. Here he has protection. He has the time to take the look, looks downfield, and timed out beautifully by McElroy. He was just roaming around there, playing it like he does, like he was a center fielder, and right on target with it. Raiders disguise their coverage so well. They move everyone around on that line of scrimmage. You never who's going to wind up covering whom, but it's all by design. They try and get the best matchup, the most advantageous matchup they can, and they usually get it.
1st and 10 from the 21, and Plunkett looking downfield over the middle, and he loves to go to his tight end, Christensen, and he does here for a 1st down at the 38-yard line. Todd Christensen now has 67 catches this year.
Well, and he's right on target for another 80 reception season. That would be his 4th. No one has done that consecutively. You see the zip on that ball by Plunkett? He's been throwing that football professionally since '71. And he still had some smoke on that. They're not always that pretty. That one was a beautifully thrown ball.
1st down from the 38-yard line. Allen hurdles forward out to the 44. Gain of 6 for Marcus. 2nd down 4.
Marcus averaging under 4 yards into tonight and well below last year, but again been troubled with a very sore ankle. Missed a couple of games and the better part of 4 of them, and the offensive load has been taken up by Napoleon McCallum, the rookie from Navy. He's done a fine job filling in for Allen.
From the 44-yard line, again out to the 50-yard line. Marcus carries the ball and a first down.
Marcus Allen, the ball carrier.
So a 6-yard pickup, and that is followed by another of about 6, and it's a first down at the 50-yard line. Coming up on the halfway mark of the first quarter, Allen's carried the ball 5 times for 20 yards. By the way, that completed pass to Christensen moved Plunkett into 3rd place on the all-time Raider passing chart, and he went in front of his coach, Tom Flores. Now he takes aim on Stabler as he winds up hitting Barksdale for a first down to the 39. Stabler and LaMonica would be 1-2 in Raider history, and now Plunkett has passed Flores for number 3 in all-time passing.
And San Diego trying to come again with a very fancy blitzing formation, and the Raiders had the play they wanted called because Plunkett had kept both of his backs in. They had enough people to pick up all of the blitzing San Diego Chargers, and Plunkett had plenty of time. And of course, with the blitz, it guaranteed the single coverage, consequently the reception and the first down.
Plunkett 3 of his first 5 for 55 yards. First and 10 at the 39. To the air again, going for Williams. Williams makes the catch at the 12, first down at the 10. Doki Williams has caught 2 touchdown passes in each of the last 2 games, and on 3 of the balls they were slightly, or even more than slightly, underthrown. This was not a Picasso, but again, it's Plunkett to Williams for a big gain.
Right by Ken Taylor, the former world-class triple jumper, has great speed, and he's become the new Cliff Branch, and that ball was well underthrown, and Doki Williams coming back to take it away while Taylor was probably feeling the butterflies fluttering around the stomach as he tried to play catch-up, not concentrating on the ball at all.
First down, just outside the 10. 7-0 Los Angeles. Andy Parker is in as a tight end on the left side, and they keep him in as Plunkett lost it for the wide-open Christensen. And how does a guy who leads a conference in receiving get that open?
That's how you lead the conference.
Yeah, I guess.
Todd loves to work at the back of the end zone. I'm sure that's where he was taking it. All of a sudden, he moved to the outside and was wide open. Let's take a look at him coming off the line of scrimmage. What he does better than most is get off the line of scrimmage. He gets away from Billy Ray Smith, hardly even bumped, gets away from another linebacker, and that's Gary Plummer, and not picked up at all. And he read it beautifully with Plunkett, and so wide open, Plunkett just floated it in there. How easy.
High snap, and Wilson gets it down. Barr kicks it through, and with 6:29 to play in the first period, the Raiders on top by a score of 14-0, and Jim Plunkett proving he can pitch on 3 days rest.
Again, you keep your backs in there, you pick up any possible blitz. You have a very heady receiver like Todd Christensen, a former running back when he came into this game, who gets off the line of scrimmage in an explosive way, and he is much more difficult to cover than he might appear.
A little bit more communicative as they stand back at the 2-yard line to receive the kickoff from Chris Barr. And it's taken up at the 8-yard line by Gary Anderson, who takes it back out to the 22. And thus the Chargers now in the very end. There's the head coach at San Diego State. Adams and Spencer are the running backs. Curtis Adams. There's some room, exploits it to the 30-yard line, and it will be 2nd down 7.
In talking to Al Saunders, he mentioned young, innovative, obviously very bright, totally devoted this game. He would like to take it away from a total emphasis on the pass that has been over the past few years. Of course, that's what you naturally have when you have the veteran Dan Fouts, one of the great passers ever in the game. But you sense that he would like to change it, but nevertheless, what he has inherited is personnel that puts the ball up in the air. So it's a bit of a quandary for the young coach.
2nd and 3. handoff once more to Adams, and he is close to a first down. Jeff Barnes, 56, the outside linebacker, making the tackle.
Of course, as you look down the road for Al Saunders, his quarterback Dan Fouts, 14 years old, and each year he seemingly has more time off with injuries. Charlie Joyner, one wide receiver, has been around 18 years. Wes Chandler, 9 years. Kellen Winslow, 8 years. So he will have an opportunity to rebuild it in whatever way he chooses.
First and 10 from the 33-yard line. And once again over the right side goes Curtis Adams for a gain of about 3. Alex Spanos owns the San Diego Chargers. Saunders was Carl Peterson, I noticed the other day, quoted as saying he had talks with Spanos, and Spanos denied that. Second and 7 from the 36-yard line, and the flag goes down, and another one goes down on the other side as well. And we'll see about the call here from referee McCarter.
Nose tackle Mitch Willis made the first contact, drawing the first flag.
Raiders. Tom Fleck at quarterback. And it's Adams again. And Adams is close to a first down, but I think he's a little shy. And so we're going to be right back to probably where we would have been had they declined. It'll be third down. And injured with the Raiders is another of those apparently in contention for a front office spot here. Third and inches. Winslow in motion. Fullback straight ahead. Spencer. First down at the 47-yard line. Van McElroy makes the tackle.
Good effort on the right side. Dennis McKnight, basically the center. Keep in mind, this is an offensive line that was developed to protect passer Dan Fouts, and it isn't necessarily one geared to run the football. This is something else Al Saunders would like to change, and will have to change if he wants to even up the balance of his offensive attack.
First and 10 from the 47. Chandler in motion. Adams tripped up, and it's Rod Martin who had the great Super Bowl against Philadelphia who makes the tackle.
So many great years, as a matter of fact, for Rod Martin. He has suffered really a lack of any kind of celebrity because of all the other talent and the big names on this Raider team, but he is so consistent. He makes the big play. He is always around the football. He gets the interception. He gets the fumble recovery. That's a typical Rod Martin play that took him to the Pro Bowl a couple of times, but he's a relatively anonymous Raider compared to the Lester Hayeses, the Howie Longs, and the Marcus Allens.
Except for that one day in New Orleans when he intercepted 3 passes against Philadelphia. They keep it on the ground, and Curtis Adams pulls straight ahead. And this crowd in San Diego, any crowd would boo on 2nd and 14 anywhere, but in San Diego, they're another shock.
Al Saunders.
Third and 10 from the 47.
They'll be coming now.
A minute and a half to play in the period. Out of the shotgun. The protection is good, but the pass is bad, and Hayes tips it away, intended for Chandler. They were one-on-one, and the line did its job, but Flick couldn't get it there.
You know, Tom Flores, the Raiders coach, says many times it's better to get a hit than a sack. When you get a good hit, you get the good pressure, you get the good hurry, you have a lot of chances. You have a chance for fumble, you have a chance for...
Meanwhile, Wes Chandler, who did some punting when he was at New Orleans and then had not punted until last week, has to come in to kick. And he gets off a wobbly one that bounces at the 27 and takes a Raider bounce and is finally down at the 31-yard line. So Chandler, as was the case on Sunday, has to take it. Plunkett's slightly better. But Plunkett's got the hot hand right now, and he's the man with Wilson on the bench. 14-0 Raiders, first and 10 LA from the 31-yard line, and they give it to Frank Hawkins, who takes it out to the 34. Second and 7, Gary Plummer in on the tackle.
Those one-loss records appear to be the same. The Raiders will beat you in a lot of different ways. They are 7-8 over the last 8 football games, and it has not been a whole lot of credit to Mark Wilson. Their defense has played fantastic. they've been able to control the football and win the football with really bad quarterbacking on the part of Mark Wilson. And finally, Tom Flores, halftime at Dallas, trailing 10-3 2 weeks ago, said, I've got to change it.
On 2nd and 7, Plunkett. Christensen can't make the acrobatic catch. Covered by Plummer and Billy Ray Smith, the 2 linebackers. 3rd and 7 from the 34.
Fascinating story of Plunkett as we look at him again, trying to get it into Todd Christensen. They gave up on him in New England, and they brought in Steve Grogan, traded him to San Francisco. They didn't use him at all. They let him go. The Raiders picked him up a couple of years later. He sat on the bench and didn't do anything until 1980 when he took over and took the Raiders as a wild card all the way to a Super Bowl victory over Philadelphia.
3rd and 7. Pressure, but he gets it away, and it's an errant pass, however, intended for Dokie Williams. He threw it behind him. Kenny Taylor with the coverage. 4th down.
Mystique about them.
And McMahon is going to get the start in Chicago's game Sunday against Green Bay. Anderson back to receive. Ray Guy standing at his 20. Half a minute to go in the period. Anderson comes sprinting up the field at the 33 and goes down at the 38-yard line. And from there will the Chargers begin the drive with 22 seconds. Now on Monday,
really paid off this year. Ken O'Brien, speaking of quarterbacks, having a superb year for the Jets.
On 1st down from the 38-yard line, Flick throws over the middle to Kellen Winslow, who jumbles the ball, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Reggie McKenzie. And the Raiders get it immediately back as Kellen Winslow can't hold on.
That ball might have been deflected as it left Tom Flick's hands. Winslow had a chance to catch it, couldn't control it, and it might be shaping up as a long night for Tom Flick. Blitz is on. That's McMillan coming. Tom Flick nevertheless had time to throw the football, got it into Winslow. Bill Pickell was in there. I think he got a finger on it. And picked off by Reggie McKenzie, and the Raiders good field position once again.
38-yard line. 1st and 10. Hawkins in motion. Allen is the running back, and Marcus picking his spot and moving down to the 35-yard line for a gain of 3. And so the first quarter will come to an end, and the second quarter will commence with the Raiders on a 2nd and 7 at the San Diego 35-yard line. End of the first quarter at San Diego Jack Murphy Stadium, where the Raiders lead the Chargers by 14-0.
And 2, Kansas City, the same as the Raiders going into the night, 7-4.
Start the second quarter. Al Michaels, Frank Gifford in San Diego, and Napoleon McCallum is in the game for the first time. The fake is to McCallum on 2nd and 7, and the pass is caught by Christensen at the 25-yard line for a first down. Nice catch, and that's 4 already tonight for him.
You know, that's Plunkett, though. I mean, Mark Wilson would have got real jumpy back there. Plunkett just stood there, kind of shifted his feet around, moved around, looked, waited and waited and waited until Christensen got open. And that's what Plunkett can do. And when you have a receiver like Christensen, he'll turn a lot of poorly thrown balls into receptions. Great concentration. Scooped it up, and it was very close, and he probably didn't catch it. Well, they gave it back to him. If you're here in the first quarter, they took one away, or at least it appeared they did. And maybe we are getting a replay. And
yeah, very possibly. Again, it's the umpire who has the communication upstairs. They almost got that play off before the replay official buzzed. Another look now.
From the reverse angle.
The play was being reviewed. It stands as ruled.
Well, I guess they say he did control it before the ball touched the turf.
I don't know. Very dubious.
The first down isn't.
No. First down at the 25.
Again, just a super effort by Plunkett. He just stayed there like a stoic, willing to take the shot if he had to, and he got it off.
Plunkett thrown over the middle for Christensen and knocked down by Jeffrey Dale. who thought he should have had the interception.
And another poorly thrown ball. Christensen was open for 6. Had Plunkett just lofted it up a little bit. Safety last week when Glenn was injured. They've been changing all season.
2nd and 10 at the 25. Fumble by Allen. Loose ball. Big pile at the 23. And San Diego has it.
Marcus was really popped before he ever had a chance to control that ball. Take a look at it from the reverse angle. Inside handoff. Ball was never controlled by Allen. There was penetration on the blitz. Initial contact was by Earl Wilson. The ball is loose, and San Diego gets a turnover. Blocked by
The Charlie Joyner split to the left and Wes Chandler sent to the right. And Winslow, the tight end, on the right side. And Anderson now in the slot to the right. And they give the ball to Adams, and he is knocked down before he can get started. He was knocked down by number 30, Stacy Turan, the safety.
Raiders read it so well. I don't know whether that was a blitz or not. Turan read the formation, read the play, came right across the line of scrimmage and was in the backfield before anyone even had an opportunity to block him.
2nd down, 11, San Diego. Early second quarter, 14-0 Raiders.
Raiders once again playing without Howie Long, their all-pro defensive end tonight. Surgical effort on him.
On 2nd and 11, the pass caught out at the 31-yard line by Wes Chandler. He's covered by Hayes.
I think he came down with 1 foot in bounds, but he was taken out of bounds by Lester Hayes.
Meanwhile, for San Diego defensively, being carted off the field right now is their nose tackle, Chuck Ian.
Chandler again, up high in the air. Well, maybe he did get both of them down. Lester Hayes having to respect Chandler, who still now is 9th year, has good speed. And there goes the nose tackle, Ian, off.
3rd down and 2. And moving through the middle is Anderson as he tries to get the first down. They have to get to the 34-yard line, and he's close.
Plan ahead. And that's kind of the way they approach everything.
First down, San Diego from the 34-yard line. And the sack at the 23. Jerry Robinson buries Flick.
Robinson, based on the first part of this game, is on his way to Honolulu. Nobody touched him. Flick trying to look deep. Let's look at it again. Robinson coming in, just freewheeling from Flick's right side. There he is. And Adams, some sort of arm block that will never keep a linebacker out. That's embarrassing when you look at the tapes in a couple of days. The quarterback is sitting there bruised and battered, and you see a block you've missed like that.
2nd and 19 now. Flick over the middle for Winslow, and he makes the catch this time out at the 42-yard line. Kellen Winslow. And that's his 92nd career reception against the Raiders. He loves to play against the Raiders, be it from Oakland or L.A.
Last 4 games, he has been more like the Kellen Winslow of old. And I'm thinking of those years when he had 88 receptions. 1983, 89, and 88 back in 81. Of course, he had the total reconstruct of his knee following the Raider game here in 1984, and it's taken a long time for him to get it back, but he is back pretty much to what he was before that injury.
3rd down and 2. Over the middle, and it's complete to number 88. That's Pete Holohan, and Holohan has run out of bounds after he gets the first down at the 50-yard line. Pete Holohan, the backup tight end, 6-year man out of Notre Dame.
He came all the way across the line of scrimmage, kind of a sneaky little thing, if you will, from the left.
14-0 Raiders. Chargers now moving. They're at the 50, 1st and 10. Flick hands hands the ball off to Tim Spencer. Nothing. Townsend and Martin are there. And a flag goes down as a scuffle breaks out. That's Winslow involved in there, and McElroy had come into the picture. James Davis, also number 45, and the call goes against L.A.
There's no love lost between these two teams, and it's not any secret whatsoever. They don't like each other.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 45 defense. After the play, 15 and first down.
James Davis against Gary Anderson, I believe. Here comes Davis.
And Billy Ray Smith said you've heard of a love-hate relationship. This is a hate-hate relationship, he says. Robinson and Holohan there. And there it comes in a little late. Davis with rather aggressive knee.
First down at the 40-yard line for San Diego. And Flick lofting it too far. Good coverage, though. Wes Chandler covered well on the play. Van McElroy was step for step with him. 2nd and 10.
Again, Flick really didn't have the time to wait for that thing. Actually, coming in tonight, he had, in 3 years into this season, was 3 of 14. He's been busy this year.
2nd and 10 from the 34-yard line. And the handoff to Adams, who takes it to the 30. Flick played at the University of Washington. Ironic, his great and good buddy was Scott Pallure. Tremaine Johnson is in the game for San Diego. He's wide to the right. The pass goes to the left, and it's incomplete. Intended for Charlie Joyner.
Joyner was there, and Flick knew it. It would have been short of the first down, but it would have been a shorter field goal attempt for Ralph Benerska.
So right now, Benerska trots out onto the Flick holds. 48-yard attempt. Long enough. Good.
Yeah.
So Benerska gets San Diego on the scoreboard with 9:12 remaining in the first half. Raiders 14, Chargers 3. Right now, LA and Kansas City tied for second at 7-4 in the AFC West. Benerska kicks off, and it comes down to the 12-yard line, and Fulton Walker takes it out to the 28. There's a penalty marker down back at the spot of the kickoff at the 35-yard line, and that, of course, would indicate that the Chargers were offside. And they were, and now the choice will be the Raiders if they want the ball 1st and 10 at the 28 or another kick. And Christensen saying, nope, we'll take the ball.
Offside, kicking team, 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
Well, they will re-kick.
Well, no, Christensen said no. Yeah, the referee's confused here. You saw Christensen said, no, we decline the penalty.
The receiving team declined the penalty. Penalty is declined. First down, 28-yard line.
You know, in a long talk with Al Saunders this morning, we talked a short while ago about the fact that he would like to change things and get more of an even balance to the offense, not dependent upon one quarterback, as it has been over the years with the great Dan Fouts, because you can lose him as they did in a playoff game against Cincinnati a few years ago, just losing the weather. But what he wanted to change was the whole attitude of the team. And he's tried to do that, and where it's been manifested already has been on this defensive unit. They played good football over the last 4 or 5 games.
And we'll see how they fare here. On first down, it's Marcus Allen on an old USC play, but it doesn't develop. And he takes it to the 29-yard line. 2nd down. Marcus Allen played his high school ball at Lincoln High in San Diego. Very few people remember, except those around here, he scored 5 touchdowns when he was a senior in a championship high school football game in this stadium. 4 of them as a running quarterback, and the 5th as a defensive back, intercepting and running it all the way in as you look at Fouts and Flick. But Allen was a superb athlete. He could have been a quarterback. Would have made a great wishbone quarterback, or he would have been an outstanding defensive back. 2nd and 8. Plunkett throws over the middle, and Allen, not a bad receiver either. Out to the 37, where he stopped by Gilbert.
Allen's one of the reasons the Raiders do not have to go to the 3-end offense as so many teams do. They can leave him in the backfield, and they have a 2-pronged sword with it, because not only can he stay in and block, because he did that for 2 years as a fullback at USC before he became a tailback. He's a good blocker, and he can pick up on the blitz when you leave him in there with the 2 backs along with Hawkins. Or when there is no one to pick up, they use him in the pass pattern. He's an excellent receiver. He'll turn a 4-yarder into a 50-yarder very quickly.
3rd down and 1, and it's Marcus again, and he loses the ball, but the whistle, I thought, had sounded at the 43, and they maintain possession. Emphatically, says the line judge in this particular case, and that's Jack Fetty.
The field can't cause the fumble.
Whatever, it is still LA's ball, and they tell us from the booth the ground caused the fumble. Ball stands. Plunkett throws. Lucky it wasn't picked off. Kenny Taylor was right there.
Former Chicago Bear had it in his sights. He could have skipped into the end zone with it. That's a pass that Plunkett has a hard time throwing. Always did have a hard time throwing it. You need a powerful arm to get it out there. Maybe he did when he was right out of Stanford, but it's hard to get it out there anymore. If Plunkett doesn't get the perfect spiral on there, it's going to hang in the air for a long time, and Plunkett does not get that many perfect spirals. There's Kenny Taylor with the Bears all of last year.
2nd and 10 from the 43-yard line. Allen, hello. Meet Leslie O'Neal out of Oklahoma State. Yep, the same guy who had the 5 sacks against Palour.
He can give you plays like that, and those kinds of plays, when they add up, will win ball games.
On 3rd and 13, pressure and a sack at the 29, and that's D. Hardison, who had the fumble recovery before. And the Chargers get charged up, and they'll get the football back.
Saunders believes the defense will win football games. He believes it will win championship games. I don't think any coach that's been around for any length of time will argue with that, because invariably when you get down to the playoffs, you get down to the Super Bowl, the teams that are in there are usually...
Anderson calls for a fair catch and draws it in at the 35. So the Chargers trying to get right back in it. 36-yard punt. The Raider lead is 11 points. 5:42 till halftime. Jewel in the entire NFL. And as you can see, the Broncos on the right-hand side meet some tough opponents. San Diego has it at the 35-yard line, and a fumble, and it is Winslow who gets in there to recover it. Adams lost the football, and the Chargers, fortunately for them, Winslow right there to make the recovery.
Little block out in front by Spencer, and breaking behind it is Adams. He just got popped by Millen, and the ball came out. A couple of Raiders had a shot at it, and it's covered by the man with the sure hands, Kellen Winslow.
Winslow also recovered a fumble against Dallas on Sunday. 2nd and 1 at the 44. And Flick puts it up and throws a bad pass. So they go to the air on 2nd and 1. Winslow, the intended receiver. To me, Frank, if you're going to go to the air on 2nd and 1, make it worthwhile. Don't throw a little 4-yard out.
Well, he wanted to go deep. He wanted to go to West Chandler, and that's why you have an all-pro like Mike Haynes year in and year out. He looked deep for Chandler, and Haynes had absolutely perfect position on him, and he had to check it off. He had to check it off to Winslow, and he's well covered. There's 2 cornerbacks. There he is, Haynes and Hayes. Incredibly, they have 77 interceptions between them and 21 years of experience.
3rd and 1. Flag is down, and I think San Diego is going to be whistled for motion. Adams would have had the first down.
Illegal motion.
3rd and 6. Flick throws, and Joyner makes the catch. And the all-time reception leader is also the recipient of a flag, but he may have paid the price with his back, as Charlie Joyner makes the 742nd catch of his career.
And not only has he had great records that have gone into the NFL record book, but he is so durable. Playing tonight in his 235th game.
Personal foul, number 30 on the defense. Late hit out of bounds, 15 yards, 1st and 10.
Stacy Turan in there with the late hit, as you can see right there. They have really leaped on that in the past couple of years, because that is one place where you can absolutely avoid an injury if you pull up on it.
1st and 10 now at the 30-yard line. Keep it on the ground. Adams picks up a couple. Reggie McKenzie, 54, making the play.
You know, and without Dan Fouts, and I don't want to keep harping on it, but you get the feeling that the new head coach, Al Sanders, wants to change it all. In fact, he told us he wants more of a balanced attack. The San Diego Charger team that I've been watching for so many years is a different football team. They would have come back from that play. Dan Fouts would have pulled away from the center on a quick count, and they would have popped another one out in the flat. This San Diego team, very methodically, got the play sent in, put their personnel up, got them set, took a long count, looked it over. It's just in a different gear than it was with Dan Fouts.
You're right. With or without Joyner, he probably would have done it. Joyner's still on the sideline on 2nd down and 6. And Winslow can't hold on to it at the 22-yard line.
But then again, Fouts would have given Winslow a little more of a break before he put it out there.
Winslow coming back from what a lot of people felt was career-ending surgery, the injury to his knee, but still he's not been nearly as consistent as he was before it.
The last 4 or 5 games, he's starting to come on, and Flick just released that a little too quickly. He had enough time to take another beat.
Flick goes to the shotgun, 3rd and 6. Joyner is back in the game and in motion. And there's no flag as Anderson takes. Yes, there is a flag. He took it to the 21-yard line. The flag came from the other side, as it was quite apparent on the right side there was movement. And it's against the Raiders.
It was moving on both sides. Of course, the Raiders dominating in recent years this series.
Lester likened them to a team he referred to as the Napa Bears.
Yes.
1st down from the 21-yard line. And Adams takes it across the 20. I think I said Moshienko field goal. I meant Bernershka, of course, for San Diego. 14-3 is the score. Turan, who was whistled for the personal foul, is the guy who comes up and lays this pop on him.
Fine tackler, Turan, from the strong safety position. And he will hit you. He'll not only tackle well in the open field, when he gets a shot, he'll take a shot at you. Very intimidating. And a fine, strong safety.
2nd down, pull at 8 from the 19-yard line. Anderson sets up wide right. And the handoff to Adams, and Adams breaks a tackle and goes in for the score. Curtis Adams out of Central Michigan, hurt almost all of last season. And now back in there tonight because Spencer's hurt.
What a move he made. Right beyond the line of scrimmage. 8th round draft pick a year ago. Led the Chargers in preseason. Then, as Al mentioned, was hurt. But look at the move right here. A little plant on the outside and a shift back to the inside. And Matt Millen was just left there grasping air. Great move by Adams.
First since the first game last year in his rookie year, and Benershka's kick with Flick holding is good. There, last 9 meetings between these two teams, Raiders and Chargers, it's been better to trail early. And tonight, the Chargers trailed early, and all of a sudden it's now 14-10 Raiders as the kickoff is taken at the 14-yard line. And back out to the 30 comes Stephon Adams.
Different team, the San Diego Chargers, and there's a look at Adams, and a fight breaks out, which often does, particularly when the Raiders are on the football field. They're very aggressive, and they'll tell you about it. Talking about Al Sanders, he has really changed it at USC, Tennessee, and California before here.
Right now always hopeful his defense can do the job as LA starts at the 16 on 1st and 10, and Marcus Allen running outside, puts his head down and takes the ball out to the 22-yard line. Both teams have all their timeouts remaining, and another hit. Terry Unrein, number 98, the rookie, and he's seeing action in the middle of the line, especially in the absence of Chuck Ian. 14-10. Second down 4 at the 22 with Jim Plunkett handing to Marcus Allen, and Allen has to cut it back the other way, and there's no room there either. Stopped at the 22-yard line by Plummer.
This is what we also got from Al Saunders today, that, well, the Raiders are an aggressive football team. We are going to play it the same way. And you also felt that he is a great admirer of the way the Raiders play football, and this is what he wants his ball club to be like. And right now they're playing it that way. And they have been, actually, over the past few weeks. They've been playing superb defense. And particularly for San Diego, because they have not been known for defense for many, many years.
This was one of those odd situations where neither the offense nor defense knew whether to take a timeout. So they let the clock roll on 3rd and 5. And a flag goes down, and Plunkett throws it over the middle to Williams, and he makes the catch at the 44. And we'll see about the marker.
Well, it should be holding. Anytime your quarterback takes that much time, dances out, the blocker almost has to hold as the defensive man slides off the block.
It was odd, though, Frank, wasn't it, to see each team with all of its timeouts, but it was one of those unique situations.
79 offense. 10-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
Bruce Davis, where it's 3rd and 5. The offense doesn't know whether...
And Plunkett started to move to the outside, had to hold him to keep him out.
3rd down 15 from the 11. Plunkett escapes the sack for the moment, then throws it away. Jesse Hester was nearest to it, and Marcus Allen was in the neighborhood as well, but it's 4th down. And a flag goes down, and I believe they're going to say Plunkett intentionally grounded it. We'll see. Or Lee Williams came in and hit him.
It looked like a late hit, and yeah, they'll walk it off. Plunkett was hit.
Yep.
He was watching to see where the ball went, and he got pounded.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 91 defense.
And it was Lee Williams.
Penalty, automatic 1st down.
That is a painful penalty, and one that was totally unnecessary. But when a game starts to go this way, and I'm sure the Chargers have been told that we're not taking anything off anyone tonight, that's what happens.
At the 26-yard line, 1:02 to play. 1st and 10 from the 26. Plunkett seeking Hester, who's been dropping a lot of balls.
Oh.
This one, great catch by Hester, who has been so maligned of late. He was wide open in the Cleveland game and dropped a sure touchdown pass, and this time he's covered well on the play and makes the catch. And now how big is the penalty?
Major, as we look at Hester, 2nd rounder out of Florida State, a 1st-round pick of a year ago, running right by Kevin Wyatt. Wyatt knew he was beat, had a chance to deflect it, but Hester, with great concentration, he dropped one that would have been a touchdown last week, and he made a fine catch to hold on to this one. And that penalty against Lee Williams now, a moment ago, really is standing out big.
Of Miami, the Dolphins will be there, and so will we as the Jets come to town on Monday Night Football. 1st down at the 23. Plunkett lofting it toward the end zone and incomplete, and Williams was covered on the play. He was covered very well by Kenny Taylor.
And Plunkett just unloading that one. Might have expected something different from Dokie Williams, because Plunkett won't often do that. He is noted for someone who will try and squeeze it in there. He's never going to throw for big percentages. And of course, at the twilight of his career, he never is, of course, not going to, but he has never over his career, because he will take the chance. And he loves to go deep, and those are not big percentage passes.
2nd and 10, 23. Williams in motion. Plunkett looking toward Hester and then keeping it.
Ooh.
And hit hard as he goes down at the 19 by Gary Plummer. And the Raiders will spend their time out here.
Plunkett's very wise, too. He wasn't going to throw that up and risk losing it down there. Got a few yards out of it. If nothing else, he wants to at least get 3 points out of this drive. He's very calm. He's very cool. Of course, over his 16 years as he approaches his 39th birthday, December the 5th, he's seen just about anything and everything that could happen. Super Bowls for Tom Flores. Made that decision 2 weeks ago, and he's going all the way with Plunkett.
Meanwhile, on 3rd and 6, it is Christensen open over the middle for a first down at the 10. First and goal. They have 1 timeout remaining.
They want to get another playoff, of course, and now with 29 seconds remaining, they stop the clock.
And that puts them down to
years of litigation. And Al Davis has tried to stay with it, but he has let Flores have a free hand at it. He's done a great job.
First and goal. Williams in motion. And the pass to Williams, and Williams for the touchdown. And not only did he beat Kenny Taylor, but when Taylor blew the tackle, that was a huge miss. Because had the tackle been made, it would have been difficult for the Raiders to get off another play had he stayed in bounds. And by the time they untangled and got the ball ready for play, and so that's a very big missed coverage and missed tackle as well.
Ducky Williams is really coming into his own this year, and a good move back to the inside. Now that's instinctive for a wide receiver. And plant the foot, break it back inside. Taylor missing the tackle, and it would have been a tough try to get that field goal team out had Taylor made that stop.
Absolutely. So Barr with the extra point, and just when the Chargers get right back in the game at 14-10, they get a terrible penalty. The call against Leslie O'Neal, then the pass to Hester, and then this, and that's a huge missed tackle by Taylor.
Good move. Little head fake, just a hint of it. Taylor went for it, break it back inside, and you get the 6. Ducky Williams has been hot. He has that great speed. You have to respect it. And he's turned into a bit of an acrobat.
What a difference this makes. Let's say there's no penalty on O'Neal and the Raiders punt. The Chargers get within field goal range, and let's say Benerska kicks one, and all of a sudden you go into the locker room at 14-13. Now all of a sudden you're looking at going in 21-10. Taylor. Gary Anderson is the man they like to get the ball to. Number 40. And instead it's Adams who comes up with the ball and takes it out to the 24, and we have 2 flags from the 21-yard line for San Diego, and they'll keep it on the ground. And just to give you Walsh's quotes as they run the half out, Bill was quoted, at least in USA Today, as saying the officiating the other night was an orgy on the part of the people involved. And Bill felt that at least he was quoted in USA Today as saying the officials were influenced by the crowd at Kennedy Stadium. In a game that, as you well know, took almost 4 hours to play. This one is moving along at a considerably quicker pace, and we're at the half with the Raiders on top by a score of 21-10. And our Thursday edition will return right after this message from your local Flick Passes. And his team is on top 21-10, and Flick, who led them on one drive that culminated in a touchdown. The other time it resulted in scoring. It was Benerska's field goal. And San Diego will get the ball as we start the second half at Jack Murphy Stadium, and the kickoff comes down to the 5-yard line, and Gary Anderson is stopped out at the 15. Just to update a situation in the first half, we saw Chuck Ian, the nose tackle, being carted off the field. Right knee x-rayed, x-rays negative, but he will not be back in tonight.
And for young Tom Flick, I think you have to say you have to follow the philosophy of his coach, new coach, Al Saunders, now coaching in his 4th game. Don't get the turnover. We're playing good defense. Make them turn it over. We can't beat them if they play good and we play good, but if we can make them play bad, we can win this game.
From the 15-yard line, it's Adams, who was their leading ball carrier in the first half, taking it out for a minimal gain.
The numbers from the first half, L.A. dominated, of course, in yardage, and that does not reflect the block punt that got them on the scoreboard initially. But I thought it was interesting, Al, at our meeting with Al Saunders today. Very cool, very wordy, but also very intense. And he said, we can't beat them if we are play our best, and they play their best. But we have to make them play less than their best.
Very honest. He's not going to try to fool you. He knows he's outmanned in terms of personnel right now. 2nd down and 9, and it's Adams stopped for no gain, and the crowd doesn't like that play call. I also loved when Saunders said in Denver after the victory against the Broncos, he must have said it on an interview on TV that his wife saw. It's the thrill of my life. And he said, I got home that night and there are 4 people standing in the doorway, his wife and 3 daughters. And he said, well, it's the 5th greatest thrill.
Taking over under tough circumstances, put in by the owner as an assistant head coach at the beginning of the year, taking over from the very popular Don Coryell.
3rd and 10 as Flick goes deep, and Lester Hayes intercepts the pass. And a penalty marker is down back at the 3. Flick has now thrown 3 interceptions, and for Lester Hayes, it would be his first of the season. And that's pretty amazing when you consider how many he's picked off in his career.
Holding, 74 offense, penalty decline, 1st down the other way.
And he wants to keep that football.
You have to hold when you get this kind of pressure. At least it happens all the time. There's the pressure on Flick. He held it as long as he could, and he paid the price for holding it. But Lester Hayes doesn't get a whole lot of balls thrown his way. Maybe that's part of the reason. He only had 4 last year, 2 in 83, 2 in 82, and that's his first of the year. But that might mean that when Lester Hayes is in on the coverage, he is going to be very close to the man he's covering. Consequently, they throw it away a lot, and consequently, they don't go against him a lot.
1st down from the 41-yard line as Christensen is run out of bounds. There's one thing about Lester Hayes you have to love, and many of you saw it, the interview with Bryant Gumbel following the Super Bowl against Philadelphia. And it was a moment that we all agonized over. Lester with a major speech impediment and stuttering on national TV. And yet instead of going into a shell, he worked very hard. He went to North Carolina to work on it. And now he's to the point where he's got the problem just about fully licked. And he's one of the most quotable men in sports. 2nd and 4 from the 45. And Marcus Allen is stopped. And to me, Frank, Lester Hayes should be a role model for kids especially who've got that problem. You can turn it around. Absolutely. And not a bad role model as a football player, but he has worked. He never gave up on it. I can remember talking to him years ago, and he had such a problem, and he continued to fight it, continued to work on it, and he proved that if you just hang in there, you can do something about it. Very much like Tommy John in baseball as well. 3rd down and 3 from the 34-yard line. In and out of the hands of Christensen, who was blanketed by Thomas Benson. Defensive back Stephon Adams, who left the game for the Raiders, we understand, has a sprained ankle. So Barr comes in, and they will spot it down at the 42, and that will make it a 52-yard attempt for Chris Barr. Right on the edge. Wilson to hold. Tried a 63-yarder at the end of the game last week. That's long enough. And good. All right. And good by plenty. He came up about 10 years ago, and he hit one for 55 yards. That's his career best back at Cincinnati. But that one could have gone for 55 plus. Good hold, too. Snap good. Mark Wilson gets it down. Absolutely perfect coordination. Center, holder, and kicker. 3-point. San Diego. Raiders on top 24-10. Barr to kick off. Anderson and Adams back to receive. And a little onside kick attempt that nearly works. The flag goes down because I believe the ball went out of bounds. Tim Moffitt trying to come down with it, and they'll discuss it. Looked like they kept it in.
Kickoff, out of bounds. Last touch by the kickers. 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
That was so close.
Yeah.
You know that takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of skill on the part of Chris Barr, rather. Let's take a look at it again. Gets it up high enough that you can almost run under it. And a great diving effort there.
Good call.
But almost got it.
Nice little fake to it. Barr really did a great acting job as well.
Rule is that you are allowed to catch it in the air as long as the receiving team is not in a position to catch it.
So they come that close. It's funny how infrequently onside kicks work. In fact, as of I think last week, there were only 2 recoveries in the entire league through the first 10 weeks by the kicking team. To the 10-yard line, Curtis Adams out to the 20, 30, and out of bounds out at the 35-yard line. Moment he is in there.
Oh, what a conference we're going to have now.
3 penalty flags, and as far as I could tell, none of them were thrown simultaneously. There was one, then the next, then the following.
Holding.
74 on the offense. Penalty declined. Touchdown.
Well, they all saw the same hold, I guess.
Wow.
He must have really been holding.
That was the all-time hug. Jim Lachey.
He was de-wardrobing a Raider. And Lester Hayes gets his second interception of the night, of the season, and the touchdown. Let's take a look at it. Lachey, number 74. We didn't see it there, but I see the ball taken away from Chandler. It would not be an interception. It was Jerry Robinson who scooped it out and right into the arms of Lester Hayes.
And Barr, the score 31-10. So Hayes, who didn't have an interception all season, has 2 in the last 5 minutes.
Hello.
Back, I misspoke, calling it an interception for Hayes. It's
So
a 42-yard fumble return. Well, as a former colleague of ours once said, it's not Smith, it's Luzinski, because I've got a misshapen scorecard.
And it's tough to lateral a horse.
That's exactly right. So anyway, it's a 42-yard fumble return. It's 31-10, and Barr kicks off for the Raiders. Taken at the 14-yard line by Anderson on past the 20, and 2 flags. Another couple of flags. Are we in Washington?
Does it only happen to us?
Personal foul, illegal low block, number 55 on the receiving team. 15-yard penalty, first down.
That would be Derry Nelson, who was just reactivated, coming off injured reserve in time for the game.
Take a look at it again. Flick firing it out. Wes Chandler is there, and watch Jerry Robinson now. He reaches in there. There he is, number 57, and he is one of the most opportunistic players in the game today. Played for so many years with the Eagles until he was traded a couple of years ago to the Raiders, but he seems to be everywhere. He, of course, you weren't with us earlier, scored on a blocked punt to get the Raiders off on their scoring bench.
San Diego from the 13 down by 3 touchdowns. Screen to Anderson. And the former Tampa Bay Bandit takes it out to the 21-yard line. It will be second down and a long 1. So here's tonight's quiz now. Who are the 5 quarterbacks in NFL history who started a game after their 40th birthday?
Blanda.
Yeah, well, you got to go with Blanda, who played the game until he was 47.
Connolly.
Yeah. Tittle?
No.
No, huh?
Quit at 38.
Second and 1. He said he was 38.
His hair was 38.
Adams. What about, Unitas ended his career here in San Diego. Good possibility. And then what about Tarkenton? When did Fran quit?
No, he didn't reach 40. I don't believe.
Well, let's And let's have the reveal then. Okay.
Please, the reveal.
The reveal. Behind door number 2. Jurgensen.
Freddie Jurgensen.
Unitas, yeah.
Awesome.
Dawson.
No Connolly.
Interesting.
Well, Charles will be angry at me for that.
And Earl Morrow. Wow. Yeah, we were close. Win a trip to Milpitas.
We were 0 for 5.
Oh, we had Blanda.
Blanda we did.
Yeah. First and 10 from the 23. Another flag is thrown, this one back near the line of scrimmage at the conclusion of the play. And this time it's against the Raiders. Millen was the man who is the recipient of the penalty.
Came very late and not anywhere near the play.
Well, now you've got 4 flags. 4 flags. We all saw what happened. Now, again, our next exciting installment. The next exciting installment of Zebras Run Wild. I mean, folks, we all saw Anderson move.
Ball start. Number 43 on the offense drew the defensive reaction. 5-yard penalty, still first up.
You know,
and that created 4 flags, Frank.
Well, they are, gentlemen, we're watching tonight. But I mean, let's face it, you have to call that. That is the rule. Spencer, had he kept his cool and gone in motion, he would not have been called for that. But he froze after lunging to the line of scrimmage and threw Sean Jones off in rather a bizarre and almost humorous effort.
You half expect even Cal Laporte to be throwing some laundry out of the replay booth. First and 15 as Adams takes it out to the 25-yard line. Crowd doesn't like the call, and that is Herman, who has had a concussion, has been slow in responding, and the one-time Purdue star is warming up.
He had 4 starts last year after coming from Indianapolis.
Second and 13. And
all
down
the
he
way
goes. And that is Stacy Turan again.
And Flick is shaken up. He had no chance to get that off. Had everyone in the pattern. No one remaining to pick up Turan, who had a full head of steam when he collided with Flick. Second and long yardage, you can almost predict you're going to get it. And nevertheless, they had a play call that did not keep it back in to act as a pickup man. They actually would have needed 2. That's what the Raiders do so well. They throw out of that two-back offense, and they can do a lot of things with it. If Allen sees nobody coming, he'll ease into the pass pattern.
3rd and 23. Flick out of the shotgun. Drops it off for Anderson. But he gets only to the 31, and they have to get to the 38. Thus, it's 4th and 7.
Get a break. But also keep in mind, he said if we play our best, they play their best, we won't win this thing.
Again, it's Wes Chandler now who's backing up Moshenko, who came out. And not a bad kick for the backup punter. Drops at the 38 and fallen upon by Fulton Walker back at the 32-yard line. We have 8:48 to play in the 3rd period, and the Raiders are ahead by 21. LA Raiders have the football at their own 33-yard line, 1st and 10. We have 8 minutes and 48 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter, and Los Angeles leads 31-10. Jim Plunkett at quarterback. Steve Strahan is in the game, and also so McCallum in motion, and Strahan carries it out to the 36. And not a bad move here by Tom Flores to be resting Allen and Hawkins, especially with a 21-point lead. And again, these teams are playing on 3 days rest. Of course, the other side of the coin is that they have 11 days until the next game, a week from Sunday.
It was a good break, but the tough part is to come back from Sunday and try to get ready on Thursday. Not only the physical part of it, but just putting the offense in. You usually work a little bit on it the week before, and you can really get confused.
2nd and 7. And going deep, Plunkett, and Williams drops the football, and it is picked off. Great save by Kenny Taylor to get it before it hit the ground.
Should never have had the opportunity because that ball was right on target. The A's was one putting it up beautifully. Dokey Williams just used the speed. Hard to beat a defensive cornerback on the inside, but he just ran away from him. We talked about his speed earlier. Former world-class triple jumper at UCLA ran right by Taylor, and that could have just easily have been 6 points. And they are working on Taylor tonight every opportunity they have, and Plunkett is reading it beautifully. He finds him when he gets single coverage.
And Mark Herman now comes on. It's his 4th appearance of the season. San Diego from the 21, and Herman trying to inject some life into the team. Hits Pete Holohan for a first down to the 41. And a flag goes down. And Holohan thinks it should be called for an illegal hit of sorts, and is now worried that it'll be called because he spiked the football out at the 41 with vehemence. Flaunting. Let's see.
The illegal spiking of a live ball when the clock was running. 5-yard penalty from the dead ball spot. It is still first down.
Euphemistically, that is flaunting.
Herman again, he really fired up not only the crowd, but gets the first down on his very first attempt. It's tough to come off the bench. I guess that's the way to do it. Now, Raiders do this, and any good football team will. The first man that makes the hit is in there for the tackle, and then the next man, as in the case of Turan, went in there trying to pull the football out. And the spike draws the 5-yard flaunting penalty.
And
Get crossed into a lot of CB bands down here along the border. You could get some really interesting information.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line. Yes, you can. Herman underthrows. Chandler, the intended receiver. Hayes covering, 2nd down and 10.
That's the tough part, and when you have 3 quarterbacks, and of course Dan Faust didn't work this past week, but Flick was doing most of the work, and Herman really did not have an opportunity to put in that much work. And when Dan Faust, as he was over the past few weeks, was healthy, he'll take almost every snap in practice. Now Herman really is coming out there and just trying to get into it so cold, but not in the game so much, but during the practice sessions also.
2nd and 10 from the 36. Anderson, yard or so. 7:20 to play in the 3rd period now. 31-10 Raiders. James Davis, 5th year back out of Southern. Third and 9. Herman, his receiver fell down. Joyner, who was honored at halftime on Charlie Joyner night, but he slips down, and thus it's 4th down. Joyner, the all-time. That's Fulton Walker to return the kick, and again it's Chandler, the backup punter. West kicking from the 22. Yeah, he's getting better. That's a major league kick. Fair caught at the 27-yard line by Fulton Walker.
A lot of height on it.
Not bad. But still a 35-yard punt for Chandler. LA on top by a score of 31-10, and Jim Plunkett tonight throwing for a couple of touchdowns.
Those are his usual numbers and percentages too. He doesn't usually have those startling percentages. He just is effective. And Fouts is consoling a now departed Tom Flick on the sidelines.
Toki Williams in motion. Strahan is in the game, and he's in there along with McCallum, and the ensign on leave takes it out to the 41-yard line. So our first good look at Napoleon McCallum, and I'm sure those of you who follow this game know McCallum's story. Committed to the Navy for the next 5 years, and he is stationed near the Raiders training camp on a ship that's right now in dry dock, and given special consideration in terms of doing his job, which he does from 5 a.m. until 2 p.m. every day.
Swaps one of his days off on a weekend to operate on Thursday night.
41-yard line. Strahan is run out of bounds out near the 45 by Jeffrey Dale. Second down. Strahan, who backs up Frank Hawkins at fullback. So the Raiders on their way to an 8-4 mark. What else is new with the Raiders? And of course, when you talk about the Raiders, lawsuits come to mind, and they're involved. At least Al Davis is involved in one right now that's ongoing. The suit filed by the former owner of the Chargers, Eugene Klein, contending among other things that Davis induced Klein's heart attack a few years back. That's in court right now. Second down 5 from the 46. Plunkett drops it off to McCallum, breaks the tackle, fights his way for a first down, and then a loose football. But I believe the play had been whistled dead. It had. 47. The Raiders are also in the process, or I'm not quite sure exactly where it stands in a legal sense, but they will be seeking damages against the city of Oakland after Oakland had tried everything in the world to keep the Raiders, including the eminent domain suit, to keep the Raiders up north.
So much has gone on over the past few years in terms of litigation. You wonder how they could have kept it out of their football operation, and indeed they have. They have been a winning football team throughout it all.
48-yard line. It's Strahan who takes it to the 42, and it'll be second down and 4.
Of course, the damages from the antitrust suit are still being contended. So it seemingly is endless.
The one effect it does have, though, is it makes a lot of the teams in the league obviously reticent to trade or to deal with the Raiders. And there's little doubt that no matter what is said in that regard, there are a lot of teams that just will not do business with the LA Raiders in terms of trades. Second down and 4 from the 42. Plunkett fakes, throws, Christensen, and he has a first down as Todd takes it over the middle down to the 26-yard line.
That's twice now, as we have watched Plunkett, that he has just been the consummate professional. A few moments ago, when he got the pass off to McCallum, looking, finally at the last possible second, he releases it to McCallum. He got the first down. He goes back again a moment ago, and Christensen, not the intended receiver. Look. He got great protection up front, and finally, with a lot of poise, a lot of cool, got it in there. You just have to admire him. Age 38, still doing it so well.
Raiders on the march at the 27-yard line. McCallum again, and this time he is stopped for no gain. Plummer and Dale hitting him. Second and 10. Another reason, just to follow up on that point about the lack of trading from the other teams with the Raiders, part of it too, Al Davis has been a master trader through the years. He's made some great deals, and so it becomes tough for the Raiders to deal with other clubs. They are one team, I suppose, that will never be found guilty of insider trading.
We don't know that as it continues to unravel.
Right. Second down and 10. Strahan hit back at the 29 by Billy Ray Smith. Outside linebacker, and moved him from defensive end out of Arkansas.
See, one of the reasons I think a lot of people don't like to trade with the Raiders, and if you take it off the executive and management level, there's great admiration for the football operation of the Raiders. No question about it. You talk to coaches who quietly, including Al Saunders, and they admire the way they play. They admire the way they come to play a football game. And I know that is pretty much represented throughout the entire league. But you trade a football player to them, all of a sudden they come back and embarrass you with a player. He's playing in a different position, maybe, like Todd Christensen.
3rd and 12, Plunkett. It is ruled an incomplete pass. The contention that his hand coming forward is upheld by the referee. Lee Williams gave him the pop, incomplete.
And Christensen wasn't even traded, but the Cowboys had him as a high draft pick as a running back. They'll cut him. The Giants cut him. And the Raiders picked him up, looked at him for a couple of years as we watched the replay, and all of a sudden he's heading for a 4th consecutive 80 reception year. Plunkett just waiting a little too long on this one. As it closes down, Lee Williams, who's having a superb year, probably because of the great year that O'Neal is having. You have to concentrate more on O'Neal than you do Lee Williams.
Barr to kick what would be a 46-yard field goal.
We know he can reach it.
Long enough, but no good. To the left. And it's 31-10, LA. That's what the score remains with 2:10 to play in the 3rd quarter.
And as you watch the San Diego Chargers, you know that at least the philosophy that we feel Al Saunders brings to this game, the young new head coach who replaced Don Coryell a little less than 4 weeks ago, you know that he wants a balanced attack. You mentioned today, when you predicate everything around a quarterback, no matter how great he is, even if you have a Dan Fouts, you run into a lot of problems. What if he gets hurt? And Dan Fouts has been hurt a great deal over the past few years. What if you go back to play Cincinnati, as they did in the season of '81, and it was 9 below 0, and it totally made them ineffectual. He wants a balanced offense, not one based around one superstar.
Herman. Chandler finds the opening and makes the catch at the 49-yard line. It's as open as Wes has been tonight.
But then the job for Al Saunders is to use the personnel and then start to bring in the type of people that will play the kind of football you want them to play. As we look at Chandler again, still with enough speed to get a little respect that he might go deep, moved into the zones, recognized it, and the Raiders don't play that much zone, was in there beautifully.
From the 50, and again, our triple flag formation.
Ball start, 68 offense.
Well, at least everybody's in unison. False start, number 68 offense, and that number 68 would be Gary Kowalski.
Hard to change an offense around like Saunders would like to. Very easy to change a defense around because you can move different people, and particularly when you come up with a great player in your draft like Leslie O'Neal. Changes things immediately, but it takes much longer to maneuver an offense into a different mode.
1st and 15 from the 45. Lofted for Anderson, is out in front, and he makes the catch and goes out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Mark Herman has something happening. Fine pass a moment ago to Wes Chandler, and good lead pass there. Gary Anderson in full stride. And again, the blitz is on. They're bringing people. And it was just a good pickup and a fine pass by Mark Herman.
First down, San Diego at the 30-yard line. Four catches tonight for Gary Anderson, who is split to the right. Herman for Anderson again. Catch number 5, and that's a first down at the 14-yard line.
You get the feeling that this is where Anderson is going to wind up in this game. He's a running back who had great years at Arkansas as a running back, and then with the Tampa Bay Bandits, where he was sensational with nearly 3,000 yards in his 3 years there in rushing. But he's only 180 pounds, and he put a good move on the defender there and was wide open. They had inside-outside coverage on him, and Herman was nevertheless able to get it in there. And the Chargers offense has picked up a little spark.
First and 10 from the 14 as Herman throws it for Chandler. Nice little move. Run out of bounds after a first down at the 2-yard line. And Matt Millen also in the picture, but they come up patting each other.
Herman now 5 of 7, 95 yards, and he just got here. Good protection for him again. Offensive line that was porous for young Tom Flick all of a sudden has been rejuvenated, and the Chargers have been able to move the football.
First and goal, San Diego trying to stay alive, and they would with a touchdown here. Right now they're down by 21, and it's Adams who gets in there. Curtis Adams scores his second touchdown.
That is the biggest cannon in the league.
Almost like an earthquake.
For years, almost jumping out of this booth with that thing going off. Here it is. Adams very impressive tonight. Just all of last year as a rookie 8th-round draft pick out of Central Michigan. After leading the Chargers in preseason, they knew he was good. They kept him around, had a knee problem, and he has run the football well tonight.
Benerska for the extra point, and it's good.
And I think this is what Coach Al Saunders wanted to see tonight. He wanted to see a team that wouldn't quit. A team that was getting mauled around a little bit. Changed quarterbacks, got instant results with Mark Herman. But more than that, he's played the time.
San Diego with 37 seconds to play in the third period. Adams scoring 2 TDs.
Out for the Giants and the 49ers. Later on, of course, the Rams and the 49ers. We'll watch the Raiders up against Seattle.
2 weeks from Monday.
Working on your end of the coast.
Working on frequent flyer bonus miles. San Diego, Jack Murphy Stadium. Back to receive. McCallum now with Fulton Walker, and the Raiders are fully cognizant of the possibility of an onside kick. They had 5 men up at the 45-yard line, and the kick comes down to the 2. Fulton Walker, and you've got flags ablazing, at least 3 and maybe a 4th as the stop is made out near the 17.
The familiar conference.
Of course, the other night when we saw the 6 zillion penalties, that's holding here against the Raiders. At least that's one of the calls. That was part of the reason the game the other night went 3 hours and
Holding, number 54 receiving team during the return. Half the distance penalty, first down.
Reggie McKenzie. Game the other night was, I believe, a 351, 352.
There are such collisions on these
Kevin
special
Wyatt.
teams. Kevin Wyatt coming down, gets it from one, gets it from another. And this is how they hope to work their way into a starting position. So many have over the years. But it can be painful, it can be noisy, and a lot of black and blue the following day.
Strahan from the 9 goes nowhere. 2nd and 10. So that piece at halftime. And the comment by Tony Kornheiser of the Washington Post, who wrote the other day after that San Francisco-Washington game, saying, how long was that game? Well, he said the America's Cup trials take less time. Not only could you read a Russian novel, you could write one.
Glad you left the other one out.
Yeah, right. There were a couple other here that you'll just have to go get your own copy of the Post.
What a humanitarian you are.
Right. Meanwhile, it's the end of the third quarter with the Raiders leading the Chargers by 14. We'll be back, maybe, at the 10-yard line for the Raiders. Plunkett. He's wrapped up back at the 5-yard line. Lee Williams, number 99. Third-year man out of Bethune-Cookman.
It is a different defense, and Lee Williams is having a great year. And as I mentioned earlier, certainly part of that reason is the great play of the #1 draft pick out of Oklahoma State, Leslie O'Neal, who moves all along the line of scrimmage, and they're more concerned about him. And I talked to Tom Flores of Link today, and he said he is indeed a great one that they would have liked to have had. So he was thinking Leslie O'Neal, and that often turns somebody else much more free than you would like to have it.
On 3rd down and 14 now. They keep it on the ground, give it to McCallum, who cuts to the outside and is well shy of the 1st down. They stop him at the 11. If you joined us late, by the way, I just wanted to make mention, Frank, because you saw that graphic that said 11 sacks, and I know many of you read 12 last week, and we said we'd further explain it. Upon further review of the films, or tapes, as the saying now goes, they discovered on one play the other day that was originally ruled a sack that Pelluer was actually stopped on a busted play at the line of scrimmage for no gain. So it wound up being a running play, and they took one of the sacks away, and thus 11 was the final total.
And another ramification was that they did not tie the NFL record for 12 sacks.
Meanwhile, Anderson to receive, Ray Guy to kick, and the Chargers are trying to get back in the game. And they're anxious to block the kick. And here they come. And Guy gets it away, but it's a high, wobbly kick that is fielded at the 39-yard line.
Oh, and the crowd's into this. They're smelling something major.
28-yard kick by Ray Guy. That's a scoop. 31-17. The Raiders leading San Diego, and the Chargers with Mark Herman taking over for Flick have the ball at the 39-yard line. First time that the Chargers have started a drive in Raider territory tonight. And Herman, who is 4 for 4, is still perfect to the 25-yard line, and that's Holohan, the tight end.
To number 88, Pete Holohan.
Looking good tonight. He has great hands. His former wide receiver. He's recruited as a quarterback at Notre Dame, and they turned him into a wide receiver. But he's big, strong, 6'4", 232-pounder. And Mark Herman has something happening here. 6 of 8. And has taken the Chargers offense that was totally asleep through much of the game, got them fired up, and has things moving.
So that a spikeless reception for Holohan. And Herman on a short roll, flips it back the other way to Winslow on the screen inside the 20, the 15, to the 13-yard line. And Jerry Robinson makes the tackle, and that's a very well set up screen, flipping it back the other way.
Particularly against the Raiders, because they love to pursue. The little roll this way, the back is going that way. Flood action. Herman made it look good. A delay screen by the lineman, and Macy got in front of it, number 62, along with Clapham. And Winslow a little late getting underway, or he might have got that much closer than he did.
1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Holohan goes in motion. And Herman with a hot hand finally throws an incomplete pass. Holohan, the intended receiver, crowd wants a penalty because he went down, but he went down on his own account. Terrain covering.
And an uncatchable football also. Herman, former Denver Bronco, Indianapolis Colt, has the Chargers moving. And there is Turan playing the ball, looking at the ball all the way. The crowd saw that on the Diamond Vision here in the stadium. They didn't like it. But that did not deserve a flag.
2nd and 10 from the 13-yard line. Draw, touchdown, Adams, his 3rd.
And the second one on a draw play. And both of them going to the right side behind McKnight and Kowalski, who make it look like a pass. Raiders were reading pass all the way. And Adams, who has run so well tonight, has really got the Chargers back in it. They show pass so well. Kowalski, 68. You saw him stand up. Adam not only signaled pass to his defensive man, and he was trying to block Townsend, who took a wide berth and opened up the hole, but that also put the linebackers into a deeper drop and gave Adams a chance to get it in.
And the Chargers can pull to within 7. Benerska with Flick holding, and it's good. And San Diego, a team that looked like it was on the verge of going under, down 31-10, is now down 31-24.
So if you went away, we're glad you're back.
Yeah. Puts the hit on him.
Raiders have got themselves up against a buzzsaw right now. A fired up team, and they have been playing well defensively all night. This is a very important series for them. And listen to the crowd get into it.
Defense, what kind of a chant is that in San Diego?
That is rare.
You ever think you'd live long enough to hear that?
Go back to the days of Big Hands Johnson.
Meanwhile, McCallum stays in the game, and he's joined now by Hawkins. Plunkett to throw. Complete, 31-yard line. Doki Williams, first down.
Gotta love that about Plunkett. Of course, he came in with the play, but that's Raider football, too. Get yourself in a little bit of trouble, you come out firing, and fire deep. You don't throw the little dink. You don't throw it in the flat. You don't throw it to a back circling. You go up and get something big.
11.5 minutes to play. Marcus Allen comes back in.
Look at all the folks back.
Hawkins, the fullback. And now they shift out of the eye. And a quick pass to Hester. And Hester has a first down. 44-yard line. Woody Lowe, the linebacker, for the tackle.
That's Plunkett again. Plunkett changed that off. He looked over there, read the defense, saw single coverage. He wanted to go out there, and he audibleized, and it was Hawkins who picked it up. And Allen in the tailback position did not hear it, and Hawkins turned around and said, get back in the normal pro set. We've changed the play.
From the 44, Marcus Allen on a sweep. Wrestled down after a 1-yard pickup by Terry Unrein, the rookie from Colorado State. He's the man who's seeing more playing time tonight because Chuck Ian was hurt earlier.
Again, over the last 5 games coming into tonight, this Charger defense has not given any opponent over 300 yards. And credit the great play of O'Neal and Williams. And Billy Ray Smith, who moved from inside linebacker out to the outside, he has turned into a great outside linebacker when he was just a good inside linebacker.
2nd and 9 from the 45. Plunkett, Allen to the 50. It's going to be 3rd and 4. When these two teams met last season here, it was an overtime game, and it was similar to this one because San Diego won it 40-34.
Raiders were really feeling comfortable coming into this part of their season. I guess perhaps as easy as anyone, certainly within their division, maybe within the conference, but they've got themselves in trouble here tonight, and they can ill afford to lose this one.
3rd and a short 4 from inside the 50. Going deep for Hester. One-hand bat away by Kevin Wyatt, number 30. Pass hung and floated, and Wyatt was able to bat it down.
And again, good pressure on Plunkett. He had to let it go. It was Billy Ray Smith who hit him just as he released it. Plunkett has that little mental clock in his head. He knew he couldn't hold it any longer, and he just had to let it go. And good defensive play by Wyatt to be there. He came a long way.
Anderson stands at the 10. Remember, Guy had a bad kick the last time, 28 yards, and the Chargers moved in swiftly. Bounces at the 15. And dead at the 9.
Not bad.
40-yard kick. Herman coming back in. 9-14 to Colson 83, and then he went with them to Indianapolis and then over to San Diego in 85. And it's Herman from the 9 on 1st and 10. Nearly intercepted. Is he ever lucky? Herman threw it in and out of the hands of Rod Martin.
And down here is when the Raiders defense has beaten so many teams over the years. They are so aggressive. A great bunch of individuals that have been brought together, and Individuals they are, but they collectively they play this game defensively so well. And so many times they have let a team come off the deck, and that has been the case here tonight. But then this defense will come back out and put them right back on it again.
Second down, fake shovel pass, and then a give to Adams. A little trickery and deceit, but getting them nowhere here.
Not much for style points.
No. Now, if you're gonna utilize that play, you've got to call Dr. Grosscup up in Alameda and say, Lee, how do you work that shovel?
The originator, the Cupper. I remember when he came up. Cover boy, Sports Illustrated.
#1 draft choice.
And he was world class, particularly in PJs.
Yep, he's a horse.
Maybe a horse and a half.
3rd and 8 from the 11. Shotgun. Caught at the 19-yard line, and good for the first down to Anderson.
Great blocking by the offensive line. This is a tough Raider defense. They love to pressure the passer. That is almost picture perfect. If you went to a blackboard and tried to draw it up, that's what you would do. Herman steps back right into a perfectly formed pocket. Gary Anderson running a route that took a lot of time and had enough yardage for the first down. It was picture perfect.
Anderson has caught 6, and there it is. He's in triple figures for the first time in his career in this league. He did it in the USFL. Chandler, the 38-yard line. Turan, the tackle. You might be wondering why Herman didn't start. And Herman, of course, like Fouts, had a concussion. He'd been slow in responding, and because of the fact Flick had played so often, far more than Herman of late, that's why Flick started.
I think it's Fouts wearing Herman's uniform number. He's been just deadly thus far since he came in, and he's not had that much work because Fouts started over the last 3 weeks, and he has been terrific. Good move by Chandler to get open there. And again, good blocking by that offensive line.
From the 39-yard line, Adams, the man who has scored 3 touchdowns tonight for minimal gain.
This you've got to do, however.
Seconds left in the 4th.
Plays a call by Ernie Zampese, the offensive coordinator, and wigwag in to Herman.
Pressure. Down he goes at the 28-yard line.
They
Bill
keep coming.
Pickell.
They just keep coming. Pickell's having another superb year. And they're playing tonight, of course, without Howie Long. We've mentioned that on several occasions, only because he is such a force that he makes the difference in a football game. He had some surgery to remove some fluid and a deep bruise in his leg and was unable to go tonight. So the slack has been taken up by Greg Townsend and just at that point by Bill Pickell.
From the 29, 3rd down and 19. Shotgun for Herman. Everybody in the pattern. The pass is too high, intended for Chandler. And so it's 4th down. And then Chandler will now stay in and figures to do the punting unless Moshenko has responded. And indeed, it's Moshenko who comes back. He's the man who suffered the concussion when he had his punt blocked on Sunday. Then he got ripped again tonight on a block punt that was a touchdown. So his last 2 have been blocked. But he obviously told Saunders he can kick. They protect him. Good distance, but it's a low kick, 30-yard line. Walker brings it back out to the 38. 41-yard kick, 8-yard return, and we have 6:17 to play in. 31-24. The LA Raiders leading San Diego, and the Raiders have the ball with 6:17 to play in the 4th at their own 39-yard line. Pretty good little battle tonight. Pretty good little battle coming up on Saturday night in Vegas, Frank. Mike Tyson, Trevor Burbick.
20 years old. Spencer Christian, by the way, Good Morning America, will be talking with both of them. That
fight taking place Saturday. From the 39-yard 49-yard line. Up the middle. Marcus Allen and a flag.
A pair of them. One went and then another. Hard to find a single flag play here tonight.
This one of the calls from the line judge, Jack Fetty.
Offside, 98 defense, 5-yard penalty, first down 5.
Terry Unrein, the Colorado State 283-pound rookie. Those are penalties accepted. From the 43, now to the 48 goes Marcus.
He makes it look so easy. 9 out of 10 backs that are playing this game today would have been stopped on that first hit. He gets away from it, and you're not even amazed that he does it. Because he's been doing that so long. We've been watching it for so many years. Over 1,700 rushing yards a year ago. Over 2,300 more yards from scrimmage. New NFL record. But there's such grace and such style to the way Marcus Allen does it that it just doesn't astound you.
Second down, less than 1, and the clock is ticking down. And on a free play, Plunkett shoots one over the middle to Allen at the 49-yard line, and that's a first down. And Plunkett so judiciously now using the clock, picking up the first down, and he's going to take this clock down as far as he can. And it now is under 5 minutes to play, and he's got a first down at the 49-yard line.
Chargers defense need a big play right now. They've got to dig down and come up with one. They've got to get the pressure. They've got to strip the ball because Plunkett is just surgically now working on the clock.
Allen's a pretty good weapon to have when you're going to work on that clock. There's no better drive at this time than a drive in which your running back nets 5 and then the next play gets 6. And there's a man down, and it is one of the Raiders, and that's Charlie Hanna, the guard.
And they're looking at his left leg. One of those trades coming from Tampa Bay. John Hanna's brother. 2 great ball players.
Well, that's the best sign of all, of course, to see a man.
But the change was made, and Al Saunders is making a lot of other changes. In just a few short weeks, he's been in control.
2nd and 6 now from the 45. Marcus again, and he gets to the 41-yard line. It will be 3rd down and 2. And if Allen or somebody else can net the first down here, they'll be able to take this clock right down to the 2-minute warning.
Plunkett taking his time in and out of the huddle. He'll not snap the ball until it is down to 2 or 3 seconds remaining on the 30-second clock. And it's right in the back of the end zone. Plunkett will check it out, time it out. He'll use up every second he can off that 30-second clock.
3rd down and 2, and there is the 30-second clock. As he goes back to pass on 3rd and 2, and he's going for it all to Doki Williams, tipped and incomplete. And that's a pretty odd call under the circumstances. That's a real odd call.
That is not a good call. You are in control of the football game. You've got a 3rd down and 2 situation. You have Marcus Allen in the backfield, and you go up and try and get 6 points out of it. You got man-for-man coverage against Doki Williams, but you got to lead it inside if you're going to do anything. So they're going to have to punt it away.
Great guy to kick. Strangest play call of the night.
You might try that if you're in field goal range, but not there.
Guy angles it, and it's a terrible kick.
They pressured Guy. They pressured him last time, and this time they put more pressure on him. Off the side of his foot, and their Guy has contributed to a major problem here for the Raiders as we are heading down to inside 4 minutes with the Chargers back in the football game and only down by 7.
Gang, that is a 7-yard kick. And that is correct. We've seen a game in which Ray Guy has kicked a 27-yard punt and a 7-yard punt. First and 10, San Diego from the 34-yard line. Holohan in motion. Herman over the middle, has it knocked down, batted down. Mitch Willis, number 98.
And this is where that Raider defense really comes to life. They are so tough. And you can almost hear them in there. Let's say, saying to each other, let's go one more time. We got to go one more time. Let's go out and get it. There goes the big hand of Mitch Willis. He's 6'8" to begin with. And he must have got up there at least 10 feet.
Second and 10 from the 34-yard line. Chandler in motion. Keep it on the ground. Give it to Adams. And Adams takes it out to the 41-yard line. It'll be third.
They've got the 3 timeouts. They've got the 2-minute warning. That'll help them. They got the major problem right now is the 3rd and 3.
Holohan in motion. Winslow. And he's run out of bounds short of the first down. At the 43-yard line, run out by Davis and Turan, and that stops the clock at 2:33. And Saunders now has a big decision.
Well, he's made the decision. He's going to go.
He has to go. He has to go, or he has to think about taking his timeouts on defense is the problem he's got.
I don't know why they brought the sticks in. They brought the ball back to the middle of the field.
So it's 4th down.
Good tackle by Turan and Davis to keep the big Winslow short of that first down.
4th down, a little less than 1.
Yeah, let's see what Lenny Zampese, the offensive coordinator, has in mind.
And Adams are the running backs. And it's Adams, and he has the first down. Big night for him to the 45.
That's where they've been working well as far as the running game is concerned over the right side. Twice they've run draw plays behind Kowalski and McKnight. And now they go back to the big men. Both of them close to 280 over the right side, and they get the first down. But again, good running by Adams.
And this will take us down to the 2-minute warning. And so the San Diego Chargers turned what looked like a first and 10. They run the draw with Adams, and he is dragged down by Mitch Willis. Nice play by Willis to read it right, hold him to a gain of 1.
And not a bad call either for San Diego. Just keep him honest, show the pass, come at the draw, make him think. But this Raider defense is a wily one. They'll pin their ears back. They know he'll have to put it up in the air now. And 2nd and long, they'll bring everybody.
And here they come, but he gets the pass off. Incomplete. Behind and above Winslow. 3rd and 9.
And again, the Chargers, very heady. Herman goes.
They have Tremaine Johnson, who has not caught a pass tonight, wide to the bottom of your screen. Shotgun, flag down. Herman for Chandler, and picked off at the 23-yard line by Van McElroy. It would be his 2nd, and we'll see about the flag. Against the Raiders. Nullifies the intercept. Gigantic break for San Diego.
Offside, 7-7 on the defense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Offside, 77. That's an offensive tackle ream. What's he talking about?
I think he read a 7. It could have been Jerry Robinson. He just saw a 7, but in any event, the penalty will not give San Diego a 3rd down. They still have 4 to work with.
Good luck figuring that one out. I guess you're right. If there's a 7, he means Robinson. Unless he meant Piquel, 71. In any event, 3rd down and 4. And it's caught by Joyner for a 1st down to the 31-yard line, and he stays in bounds. Starting at the 34-yard line of San Diego. It's now at the LA 31. That Spencer is the sole running back. And Herman throws over the middle and dropped by Anderson, and a flag goes down.
There was a late hit and then a late flag. A good hit.
Personal foul against the Raiders. Hayes.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 37 on the defense. 1st down, 15 yards from the previous spot.
That was a late hit. And as you can see, Herman just did get it off before Sean Jones was there to meet him. And almost picked off by Robinson. There's Anderson, totally had relaxed after he had dropped the ball, and he caught the shot, and not only a late hit, but a forearm in there to boot.
That's the 4th personal foul against the Raiders tonight. And the Raiders have now been penalized 10 times for a total of 98 yards. 1st and 10 at the 16. Good protection. Over the middle. Touchdown, Joyner.
And Mr. Clutch tonight. Quarter, 185 yards.
A high snap and a great job by Flick to get it down. As Benerska kicks it through. Well, Flick didn't do the job at quarterback tonight, but he sure did the job getting that one down. Benerska to kick. 1:01 to play. 13-yard line. McCallum out to the 29. And so now,
and then all of a sudden Herman came in, got hot for the Chargers. The defense played consistently, and they got themselves in trouble.
From the 30. Bucket, rushed, hit as he throws, and incomplete. If nothing else, the Chargers will come out of this game believing in themselves very much. Leslie O'Neal forcing Plunkett's hasty throw. 2nd down.
Go back a few minutes ago to a 3rd and 2 call on the part of the Raiders. They were moving the ball on the ground with Marcus Allen, 4, 5, 6. Then on a 3rd and 2, they tried to go to deep. Dopey Williams was covered, and they had to settle for a punt, and it went off the side of the guy's foot for 7 yards.
On 2nd and 10. Plunkett to Hester. 1st down at the 49-yard line.
Now they're in an area of the field where they can be a little more on the gambling side and try and get it into field goal range.
Again, LA with all of its timeouts. There's Barr, his longest 55 yards, and he's kicked one of 52 tonight. Plunkett flushed out, pointing, lofting it, great pass, flag down, another flag as usual as Christensen made the grab. What touch, perfect.
A lot of bumping going on there between Christensen and Dale. And this will depend upon how they see it.
Dale grabbing him, grabbing his shirt. Classic touch though by Plunkett, just perfect.
Holding. Number 37 on the defense. Penalty decline. First down.
Dale.
It's Jeff Dale who's trying to stay with Todd Christensen. And again, look at Plunkett. Cool, poised. Always the veteran. Steps inside a Charger defensive lineman. Lee Williams pointing, directing traffic downfield. Lofts it because he has to. And you saw Dale almost tear the jersey off Christensen, and they are already within bar field goal range.
1st and 10, 31.
You can be fairly positive that Plunkett's not going to hurt you here.
Allen inside the 30, and then he slips down at the 28-yard line. And with all of their timeouts left, LA spends its first right here. So right now they are at the 28 and
puts on a defense.
2nd down, 7 at the 28. And he's going to throw it. And he's throwing incomplete, intended for Hester, who
I told you he wouldn't hurt you. He wouldn't hurt you down here. He was under pressure. He just unloaded it. He didn't want to get sacked. That would have taken it out of field goal range. Certainly put a lot of strain on Chris Barr. So he got rid of it. Blitz was on by San Diego. They're thinking the same thing. If they're going to put it in the air, if we can get him sacked, we're going to make that much more difficult for the field goal.
3rd and 7, 28-yard line. Plunkett over the middle. He's got Christensen, and Christensen is wrestled down at the 18-yard line. And now the Raiders can take a timeout with 14 seconds. And let's see if they opt to bring Barr in right here.
Oh, they'll try to move it closer.
Right now you're looking at a 37-yard field goal. And they do have the one timeout to spend, so they do have one more play to run prior to Barr coming in.
No wonder kickers are a little strange. Not all of them, but many of them are. They have to sit there and pace the sidelines, and knowing that everyone is out there getting bruised and battered, they're bleeding, trying to get it in position for you to win a football game. You don't hit anybody, nobody hits you ordinarily. They're just kind of a different part of this game. Against Dallas. Dallas pulling it out late in the game. This would be a big victory for San Diego. They would love to have it.
1st and 10 from the 20. And they let Allen set it up in the middle of the goalpost, and he gets 3 and says timeout from the 17-yard line. So it'll be a 34-yard attempt for Barr, with 6 seconds remaining in the 4th period as Barr tries to win the game.
He's had a long time to think about it. He is very accurate from inside the 30-yard line. You can see. Cool. They kept him around for a long time.
Jamie Kimmel will be snapping it, and Mark Wilson will be holding it. Plunkett going all the way at quarterback tonight. And the Raiders trying to head back home some 120 miles to the north with a mark of 8-4.
Kansas City, of course, having a great year. Their best in a long time. They're at 7-4. Also, they, of course, would be looking on tonight. Denver at 9-2. Talked about the scheduling ahead. Denver at 9-2. They have the Giants coming this Sunday. Then they have Cincinnati at home. Then they play at Kansas City. Washington at home, and then they're at Seattle. Kansas City is at St. Louis, home for Buffalo, home for Denver. Then they play these Raiders at the Raiders December the 14th. And they close with Pittsburgh.
Barr, it'll be spotted at the 25, 35-yard attempt. Blocked! The kick was blocked. The Chargers came pouring through. seconds left in the fourth.
But did the Raiders recover it?
It was third down. The ball is recovered at the 30-yard line. I believe it might be Jeff Walker, 72, or D. Hardison, 92, for the block. And thus, it'll be an overtime right in the middle of that pack.
Right in the middle.
And San Diego at the 30-yard line. You know what? They're talking to the replay booth. If the Raiders recovered the ball, it was only third down. And so, oh boy, look, I'm sure this is what's happening right here.
Well, we said that, and then we just assumed the Raiders had not recovered the ball.
Right. Now, if the Raiders recover the ball, remember, it's their ball. It would be fourth down. It's blocked. And then it's Millen. Matt Millen recovered the football at the 30.
The Los Angeles Raiders recovered the block kick on a second down play. The ball never crossed the line of scrimmage. It remains in Raiders possession, third down.
There's a story for you. Now, if you did not have instant replay, how this game would have ended up. And particularly if you consider that Chris Brar might make it from here.
That's right. He still has another shot. From the 47, it'll be 47-yard attempt. It'll be spotted at the 37-yard line.
And what fuel for those who have been championing the instant replay. Maybe the most significant use of it this year.
And Barr now picking out the spot for Wilson, which will be the 38-yard line, a 48-yard attempt. So the 34-yard kick was blocked. And still, there's confusion. I think one of the things they're talking about, too, there were 6 seconds on the clock. And are you going to tell me that whole play took 4 seconds? It took more than that. Nobody called timeout. Somehow the clock stopped at 2.
Oh, boy.
Having recovered their own fumble or block kick behind the line, the clock should continue to run. The playing is over. We go to overtime.
And Saunders, wild ending to the game. Among other things, the clock cannot be stopped in that situation. There was no change of possession, as it turned out. And the play anyway, as we played it back, took more than 6 seconds. And Saunders went to the officials. And they finally, after talking to the replay booth and getting everything sorted out, come up with what is precisely the right call. And so we go into overtime.
Which would have been the same result without the instant replay camera. Interesting.
Meanwhile, there is the man who blocked the kick for San Diego, Jeff Walker. It's the only play in which he's been involved to any extent tonight. Special teams member, a rookie out of Memphis State. So he's a hero. Flick is a big hero for getting the high snap down, and we don't have to tell you about people like Herman and Adams.
And the entire defensive unit. They played well tonight. They've hung together. They've given up yardage. But when they have had to, they made the big play.
There's Flick and there's Herman.
Wild finish to a game that started off staggered around with a lot of flags. And at one point, I'm quite sure Tom Flores felt he had locked it up. Started bringing in a lot of backups, and all of a sudden Herman came off the bench, got a hot hand, and got the Chargers back into it, and got them back into it so deep that the Raiders couldn't.
For overtime, so they receive, and McCallum takes the kick at the goal line. To the 10, flag down, out to the 21-yard line. Again, the first team to score is the winner. You can score in any fashion, including a safety.
I think we're going to have a clip, and that is going to back the Raiders up into the back.
So the Raiders start at their own 6. In overtime, you are allowed 2 timeouts. And if you go 15 minutes and it's still a tie, you go home. It winds up a tie. Plunkett from the 6. Dumps it off. Marcus Allen gets it only to the 9. Second down. Last year's game ended in overtime with Lionel James, who's on injured reserve right now, scoring from the 17 after 3:44 of OT.
Got to be just a little careful down here, does Plunkett, because if you turn it over, get the interception down here, then immediately the Chargers are in field goal range.
2nd and 7 from the 9. Plunkett fires to Christensen to the 30-yard line, and Christensen makes his 10th catch of the night. And that's number 75 for the season.
He makes such a major difference. He always comes off the line of scrimmage pretty much freewheeling, no matter what you try to do to him, and he gets buffeted around in there many times, but he has the quickness and the speed to take it deep right away. Plunkett was looking all the way. Split 2 linebackers. Christensen lining up with Plunkett. Gets the first down.
1st and 10 from the 30 is Plunkett. Seeks Williams. No, he was out of bounds.
Actually juggling the ball as he came down with it. Not a bad pass by Plunkett. He did not have control of it when he went out. Good pass by Plunkett. He just did not have control of it. Good to see 38-year-old quarterback firing outs like that.
Better than good. Great. 2nd and 10 from the 30. Wrapped up at the 23 by the rookie Leslie O'Neal.
A great athlete. He came a long way to get that sack.
3 sacks for O'Neal tonight, and 14.5 for the year.
From the reverse angle. Here he comes. Breaking the tackle, trying to stay with him. Rhyme.
Third down, 16 from the 24. Plunkett is pressured and dragged down at the 36 by Lee Williams, who runs him down and forces a punt.
The defense has kept the
Punt with a 26-yard punt, and this one is more like vintage Guy.
Oh, that's a beauty.
To the 15 goes Anderson. No blocking at all, and no corner to turn. 49-yard kick, 7-yard run back. At the 21, we've played 2 minutes and 56 seconds.
Elway deal when John would not go to Baltimore, and he was traded to Baltimore. Came here last year.
Chandler in motion on 1st and 10, and they begin with Adams, who scored 3 TDs tonight, and he takes the ball out to the 26. And again, Adams is getting so much playing time tonight for a number of reasons. Tim Spencer is hobbled. Gary,
one of the 2 losses they've suffered, but it would really establish him, not only with the players, because I think they do believe him, the ones you talk to.
Adams again nearly slips, but maintains his balance, and he goes out to the 31-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 1.
And for these fans who haven't known much about winners in the past few years, Don Coryell in his 2nd, 3rd, and 4th year won the division in the AFC West, but they have been downhill ever since.
And Adams coming out, clenching his hand. So as he comes out, Anderson comes in on 3rd down and 1. That could be significant because Adams is definitely a guy you think about giving it to here. Now they've got Spencer in the game at fullback, put Winslow in motion, and they give it to Tim, and he gets the first down to the 33-yard line. Again, Spencer, ginger ankle, questionable coming into the game as to if he would play or how much, and he's been used.
Game, 2.5 quarters, nothing all of a sudden so explosive.
San Diego at the 33. Herman to throw for the first time in OT. Good pass, Anderson. First down at the 46-yard line.
Herman looking very good, and what a move Gary Anderson gave Herman. Put it into a full sprint, and Seal was out there covering him. Seal was buying the fly, and then he broke it off, and Herman had it timed out beautifully with him. But again, good pass protection for Mark Herman. Mitch Willis almost got a hand on it, but there you can see Seal. He was off by 5 or 6 yards as Gary Anderson gave him a good fly move. Seal bought it all the way.
They still work on Adams, and it's Anderson stopped for a loss of 1 at the 45 by Sean Jones, 99. Pretty good week for old Purdue quarterbacks in Southern California. The Rams using Everett for the first time, and even though they lost on the Hale Irving pass the other day at Anaheim, they found themselves a quarterback. And now Herman tonight, former Boilermaker. We've played 5 minutes 35 seconds of overtime. 2nd and 11. At the 40-yard line. Wes Chandler with those soft hands. And a flag is down, however, at the 36, and it's being brought back.
Holding. Number 74, offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
That was Jim Lachey, the man who was...
Yard line. We've had one overtime game already in the league played through 5 quarters. Atlanta and the 49ers went to a tie.
Adams is back in the game, and they give it to him on a draw, and a flag goes down again as Adams takes the ball to the 37-yard line. And another holding call.
Right in front of the official, you saw the official digging for the hanky.
2nd down, 31 at the 25-yard line. Knocked down, and so it'll be 3rd and 31.
Tom seldom gets very exercised on the sidelines.
3rd and 31. San Diego has converted 50% of their 3rd down chances, but this is a 3rd and 31, and it is nearly picked off. Sean Jones almost ended the game.
Probably without all the wrappings that the defensive linemen now have on their hands, he might have had a better chance of holding on to that football. He was right there as the Chargers tried to come with a good percentage play. This is when you don't figure anyone's going to get into a little screen out to the side, and Sean Jones breaks the block by Lachey, who is not going to hold him this time, and almost comes up with the interception.
Now Moshenko at the 10 with Walker to receive back at the 35. Not a good kick. And it goes out of bounds at the 44-yard line. And so we have 8:29 left in overtime, meaning we played 6:31. That's a 31-yard effort. And again, if you go 15 minutes and there's no scoring. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Plunkett. Going deep for Williams. No. Kenny Taylor right there with him. 2nd down and 10.
He was getting help too. They were doubling up on Dokie Williams. He's the big man. And Taylor was there. Vincey Glenn was there.
Second down and 10 from the 44. They give it to Hawkins for the 47. Marker down again. Laundry lunacy. Against the Raiders. Interesting little at this juncture, or 3rd and 7. I'm not sure I wouldn't take the play if I was San Diego.
I think it's the philosophy. You back them up anytime you can, particularly if you get a major.
Well,
a 5-yard maybe it'd be different.
It gives you one more play, but it takes you further out of field goal range as Plunkett throws to Christensen, and he makes the catch, and he has the first down at the 38-yard line. Jeffrey Dale making the stop.
He's giving Jeff Dale nightmares. And again, getting off the line of scrimmage is the toughest thing for a tight end. You can't let him come off scot-free. Moved to the inside. Dale bought it for just a second, but a perfectly thrown ball by Plunkett. Got it in there, and Christensen fought it all the way, finally got control, covered it up, gets the first down inside the 40-yard line.
So they're at the 38. Christensen, 76 catches now this season. Marcus Allen breaks a tackle and is close to a first down.
Did we have to beat San Diego? Because San Diego had won 3 divisions in a row, so they went out and did things like getting cornerback Mike Haynes to go with Lester Hayes to take a little bit away from the Raiders, or the San Diego Chargers, and Dan Fouts.
Yep.
And so the Raiders really have focused much of their offense and much of their defense against the San Diego Chargers in their division.
First and 10 from the 28 as Plunkett throws deep and too long. Intended for Hester. Second and 10. Donald Brown covering by pointing out that 52-28 score. Point I'm making is that through the years they've played not only very competitively, that wasn't a necessarily competitive game, but the score indicates the type of football we've seen. Up and down the field, and
bitter
pinball
rivals.
machine on the scoreboard.
Of course, now the Raiders, not only San Diego, they've been down over the past few years. Denver's emerged under Danny Reeves, John Elway, and Kansas City is back again. Tough division out here.
Second and 10. Good hole for Allen inside the 20. Marcus to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Marcus Allen.
What a great effort. What a weapon he is.
28-yard touchdown run. Marcus Allen.
Stop him some of the time, but never all the time.
Well, the man who grew up in San Diego, went to Lincoln High, the Heisman at SC, the off year this year because of the ankle, and it's like he said, hey, I've got one last shot here, let's do it. Meanwhile, Millen and Flores, and you could see the sincerity, just the way that Millen shook Saunders' hand as if to say, hey, pal, congratulations. Your club gave some performance tonight, and indeed they did.
And what a performance by Marcus Allen, playing on an ankle that is still very sore. Gets a lead block from Frank Hawkins, goes over the right side. Good block by Hawkins. Allen with the graceful acceleration, and I mean it is that. You just don't realize how quickly he turns it on because it looks sort of effortless. And then just pounding right through tackles into the end zone. Just an incredible individual effort. Take a look at it one more time. Raiders, who can totally confuse you with offense. They never do what you think they're going to do. A good block by the lead guard out in front. That was Ryan. Then Allen breaks behind the block, Frank Hawkins. Now the great effort down at the goal line, just carrying Kevin Wyatt into the end zone to win it for the Raiders.
And to Kelly Hayes and George Hill, Brian Carter up here, our thanks. Kenny Wolf and Chet Forty and the gang, and we'll all see you from Miami on Monday. Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, good night from San Diego, where in overtime the Raiders beat the Chargers by a score of 37-31. And this ABC Sports exclusive has been brought to you by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. By the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. Never matters how far you go, Goodyear takes you home. By the Bartles and James Premium Wine Cooler Company. And by Renault Jeep, where commitment to quality and innovation form a winning team. Travel arrangements made through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United flies more people to Hawaii than any other airline. Nobody knows Hawaii like United. And this has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television. Talk to you Monday.